Welcome back to Man Down Sports. If you can see from the thumbnail, you see Charles Barkley and Kevin Durant are having some back and forth once again. Man, this is a gift that keeps on giving. I understand why Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal and that's really the main ones. Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, sometimes Chris Broussard, Nick Wright, but they seem like they gotta always have something to say about Kevin Durant and what he do and what decisions he make as far as what team he picks. It's gonna always be an issue. So I'm gonna play for you what Charles Barkley said. Before I play that, make sure you hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Make sure you do all that. That helps the channel out. But I'm gonna play for you what Charles Barkley said when he was talking to Stephen A. Smith, surprisingly, about Kevin Durant, and then I will come back with my commentary.
What's the difference between what Kevin Durant did and what LeBron did when he went to Miami, in your eyes?
Well, first of all, there's no difference. Okay. But this is the problem. Kevin gets mad at me when I point this out. If you go back and look at LeBron, who I really admire and respect, he said this. I did not say this. He says, I had to win a championship without Dwayne to get old heads respect. Kobe Bryant said this too. He says, I have to win a championship without Shaq to get these old heads off my back. I hold Kevin Durant to the same criteria. I don't care what the media says. I don't care what the fan says. I'm talking about old guys like myself who went through the trenches. Kevin Durant gonna have to, he's an all-time great. But when it comes to being mentioned with some of these other guys, he gonna have to win a championship where he's the leader of the team and he's the best player.
Or
he can't join a 70-something win team and then win a couple of championships. But everywhere else he's been, he hasn't been successful. So that's the standard I hold him to. If he want to be on a level with LeBron and Kobe and those guys, he gonna have to be the best player as the leader, because the stress that goes with being the leader of a team is really, it's a big deal, Stephen A. We're not role players. They don't have to play good. They don't get no blame. But when you're a great player, they say, people don't say, listen, I love Sid Ceballos, one of my favorite people. Nobody ever said Sid Ceballos didn't win the championship. Nobody ever said Mark West didn't win the championship. They said Charles Barkley didn't win the championship. That's a double standard, but that's the way the game breaks, man. I have to live with that.
See, this is what happens when someone who is not that intelligent tries to speak intelligently on a topic and explain it with some type of logic. The logic never makes sense, and I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, this is coming from Charles Barkley, who is telling Kevin Durant that he and others, the old heads, are not going to respect his career and legacy, or let me see if I can get the exact words he said. Get the old heads off his back. And then he mentioned going through the trenches like him. He said going through the trenches like I did. And this is the funny thing about it. He did exactly what Charles Barkley did before he joined the Warriors. He's so good that he did this as a 23-year-old with the OKC Thunder, with his supporting cast being a 22 or 21-year-old James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Imagine that. He got to the finals as a 23-year-old with players younger than him and players not quite reached their potential yet. Harden wasn't an all-star. Russ may have been, but Harden wasn't. He didn't grow into his best self. So getting someone before their prime is just as not impactful as having someone after their prime. So having old Shaquille O'Neal on the Boston Celtics team with Garnett and Rondo and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce It was non-effect because Shaquille O'Neal wasn't good anymore. He was old, fat, and out of shape, often injured. That's the same thing like when Michael Jordan got Scottie Pippen as a rookie, averaging, 5 points a game. So getting someone before their prime is just like getting someone after their prime. So you can't have a revisionist history and count Kevin Durant as having some type of super team because he had Harden and Westbrook when they was second and third year players. Now, for you to say Kevin Durant needs to go through the ground like you did, he did exactly what you did. He won an MVP. He took his team to the finals and lost. You lost against Michael Jordan. We understand that. He lost against the Miami Heat Big Three. We understand that as well. But look at the teams he beat. If you want to talk about the grind, he had to go through the West. He had to go through Kobe and the Lakers. He had to go through Dirk and Dallas. And one other team I might be forgetting that was pretty good as well. Right? So he didn't go through no slouch squads. They still had the San Antonio Spurs in that conference. I'm not sure if he beat them. I had to double check, but I know he went through Kobe and the Lakers and Dirk and Dallas, and then had to meet the Heat Big Three. So that's one thing that don't make sense what Charles Barkley said. Then he said he has to win a finals, being the leader and the best player on the team. Whoever questioned that Kevin Durant was the best player on the Warriors team? Even Steph knew that. There's nobody that didn't know that Kevin Durant wasn't the best on that team. And it was uber obvious in the finals. It was even obvious why they needed him. The Warriors needed him for the same reason the Phoenix Suns need him right now. We had a pretty good team. We got lucky and won 1 against the Cavs because Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving both got hurt. Kevin Love got hurt the series before the finals. Kyrie Irving got hurt in game 1 in the finals. Game 1, it went in overtime, and Kyrie Irving was actually absolutely eating Steph Curry's lunch on offense and defense. And Steph Curry had the ball with the shot clock going down and the game clock going down with a chance to win. Got to the rim for a layup and got his shot blocked by Kyrie Irving. Right? And then Kyrie Irving messed his kneecap up in overtime very early. And the Warriors got the win, and then the rest is history, right? So had it not been for that, we don't even know if the Warriors would have beat Kyrie Irving and LeBron James without Kevin Love. Then we got to see the rematch the next year, and we said, oh, you know what? Yeah. They didn't have what it take to beat the Warriors. Beat the Cavs with a full team. They got Kevin Love back. Kyrie Irving was healthy, and LeBron came back from 3-1 and beat them. So they even understood, oh, man, I don't think we can beat this team. So they know that they needed Kevin Durant. And what Kevin Durant was the ultimate equalizer. You got the best player in the league, arguably, in LeBron James, and we have the other person that's arguably the best player in the league, right? So they cancel each other out, and then everything else we can play ball with, right? Which really they didn't cancel each other out because Kevin Durant outplayed LeBron James so much that they didn't even allow them to get a game. They swept them. And then they did it again the next year. Of course, Kyrie Irving wasn't there for that one, right? So for him to say it's in question whether Kevin Durant has won a ring as the best player, he's won 2 as the best player, and he's led a team to the finals as the best player. So that's 3. And he led a team to the finals as the best player. So that's 4. The one they lost to Toronto when he got hurt. Right. So he's been to the finals 4 times as the best player. That's not in question. Why are you even questioning it? And Kevin Durant responded to that. It's an article in Yahoo Sports. He did an interview with Goodwill. And he said, I don't understand, this unfair standard that Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley is giving me. He said, they basically want me to go out here and win a finals with Scoot Anderson and Scoot Henderson. And Scoot Henderson is a player that's in the G League that's probably going to be the second pick behind Victor Wembanyama, or however you say his name. I'm sorry, I might be butchering it, but he's going to be the number 2 pick in the draft. I mean, that's basically what he's saying. Like, y'all want me to just take a rookie and win the finals in order for y'all to give me credit. And Kevin Durant said, I don't need credit from y'all. I don't want credit from y'all. And that's the most interesting thing about this whole exchange that they keep trying to have with Kevin Durant, and this pressure they keep trying to put on his shoulders. And he's like, look, dude, I don't care. Whatever that's at the other end of the door for me accomplishing something that y'all saying I need to accomplish, I'm not even playing for that. It's different with LeBron James and Kobe. He gave LeBron James and Kobe as an example. He said Kobe wanted to win without Shaq. And Kobe explained why he wanted to win without Shaq, because he was chasing a legacy. He wanted to be the best player that ever played. He was chasing Michael Jordan. He wanted to be considered like that. And when he won the three-peat with Shaquille O'Neal, all he kept hearing in the media, no matter how good he played, all he kept hearing in the media is that Shaq squad, they pretty much said he was a Scottie Pippen. And he was like, I don't want that for my legacy. So he was concerned about his legacy. Now, mind you, if Shaq wasn't so out of shape and he was going to work out, Kobe and Shaq probably could have got another three-peat like the Bulls did. They had Phil Jackson. They had Shaq and Kobe. Shaq got motivated when he left LA and went to Miami and got in really good shape. But every year in LA, he was getting in worse and worse and worse shape because, he had Kobe and he knew it was going to be easy. But when he found out that the Lakers chose Kobe over him, that motivated him to get in tip-top shape. When he went to Miami, he was ready to go. So who knows if Shaq would have actually really got in shape if he stayed in LA, because what we seen, he got motivated to get in shape that 1 year in Miami, and then the next year after that, he was going downhill again. And then Miami got rid of him, and he tried to go join with LeBron, and then they got rid of him, and he tried to go join with Phoenix, and then they got rid of him, and he tried to go join with Boston. He was just ring chasing, team hopping, but he was a shell of himself. So Kobe Bryant saw, look, man, I'm in Shaq's shadows. I want to win one without him to prove to everybody. Kobe wanted to do that. He put that on himself because of what the media was saying. LeBron James, same thing. He couldn't win in Cleveland. He joined D Wade, who already won one, formed the super team. They got 2 out of 4. And then everybody was saying, hey, man, I guess you got to win one without Wade. They wanted him to. They wanted him to prove something to him. So I don't know if LeBron actually really said what Charles Barkley said he said, but evidently maybe he did want to go win one without Wade, and he did. He went, formed almost a super team with the Cleveland Cavaliers with Love, Kyrie Irving, and J.R. Smith. Not quite a super team, not quite like Miami, because Kevin Love wasn't as good as Bosh, I don't think. But he did it and won, and he got the old heads off his back. The difference between LeBron and Kobe, if they both had said that they was chasing Michael Jordan, we know Kobe was. He modeled his whole game after him. LeBron said, I'm chasing that ghost, and he said, I want to be the best I want to be the GOAT. He said it plenty of times. He wanted to be the GOAT. So we know everything that he's doing is legacy driven. And if the media is saying that we're not going to speak of your legacy in this way because of this, then he's going to try to change that narrative. And that's why he was team hopping and try to get, okay, let me see if I can go get another ring, because I want my legacy to be spoken of like MJ's is. The difference between all of that is Kevin Durant has never said, I'm chasing MJ, I want to be the GOAT, and I want my legacy to be spoken of. So the media is dangling that carrot out in front of him, and he's not taking the bait. Like, look, I don't care what y'all say. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all cannot accept me as old heads. You're saying that we're not going to give you credit and we don't count your rings because we old heads and we wanted you to do it a harder way. Show me a degree of difficulty. Show me something harder. Go do that, and then we give you credit. No, he's not listening to that, and they don't understand why they can't dictate what he does based on how they criticize him. And it's pretty much like the media. That's a player that the media don't really have control over. right? Because the media is used to being able to, throw little landmines out there and dictate what a player does and what he says and push certain buttons, and it's not working with Kevin Durant. So they're going to keep trying. Keep trying, keep pushing this button, and it's just not working. They just need to stop, right? Because all the stuff they're saying don't even really make sense. Like what is it that Charles Barkley and Shaq want him to go do? Name a team that you want him to go. Do you want him at 34 years old to go and start a team from scratch with players that are not proven and go win with it? Like why are you trying to ask him to make the degree of difficulty so hard, and then use guys like Kobe and LeBron as an example when they really didn't do that? You get what I'm saying? Like joining a team that already went to the finals and a team that already won 70 games on the surface, that looks like, that you can criticize that easily, right? Because on the surface, okay, that looks bad. But at the end of the day, he joined a team that was good and had good players. They lost half of their team. So the team that won 70 games was not the team that he joined. Like that team was structured in a way where, of course, they had their stars, Steph and Clay, and then Draymond as a support role, right? And then they had a stacked bench. I mean, they had Harrison Barnes, who was a 3-and-D. They had I want to say they had Barbosa coming off the bench. They had so many players coming off the bench that was good that they had to get rid of to bring in Kevin Durant. So they kept Steph, Clay, Draymond, Sean Livingston, Iguodala. They kept those 5 people, and then everybody else was gone. So when they signed Kevin Durant, they had to bring in new guys, JaVale McGee. They drafted 2 rookies, McAdoo from North Carolina. They brought in David West in his final years of his career. They brought in it was probably about 6 players they brought in. So it was a totally different team, right? But the same core players, right? When you look at what Miami did with LeBron James, he came over there and he orchestrated his, okay, all right, we got D Wade, second best shooting guard in the league. Got Chris Bosh, probably the 4th or 5th best power forward in the league, all in their prime, and then LeBron James. And then that didn't even work. Then next year you had to come back with Ray Allen, add Ray Allen to the mix, add Rashard Lewis to the mix. They had Mike Miller a little bit. You get what I'm saying? So it's nothing different. And Charles Barkley at least said that much. It's nothing different what he did in Miami. But the funny thing about it is, if it was nothing different than what he did in Miami versus what he did going to Golden State, then what was different about him going to Cleveland? Because he did the same exact thing. He joined Miami that already had Wade, and then he brought in Chris Bosh. He joined Cleveland that already had Kyrie, and then he brought in Kevin Love. It's the same exact thing. Then he went to LA and then brought in Anthony Davis. That one was slightly different because they only had 2 big names that was in their prime. They had 3 everywhere else he went. And the final thing I wanted to say about him saying that he's been unsuccessful everywhere he went, that's a lie, right? This Brooklyn thing was the only thing you can call an unsuccess. He was successful in OKC. He did the same exact thing that Charles Barkley did, got to the finals. In the story. So I don't know. That's all I wanted to say, man. I just think it's a weird narrative that they try to create. It's cute. I guess it get clicks and stories, but it don't have a lot of logic to it, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Peace.